Everything dies. You, me, everyone on this planet, our sun, our galaxy, and eventually, the universe itself. This is simply how things are. It is inevitable, and I accept it. So this is how it is. All this chaos has been orchestrated by the Black Panther and Namor. Doom is furious, but they don't care, and say goodbye to God. With the power of the Infinity Gauntlet, they turn Victor into glass and shatter him. But it can't be that easy. It won't be. And though it did hurt Doom, he reforms and blasts them with a tremendous wave of energy. T'Challa is able to block the blast with his gauntlet, but Namor is gone. Doom is now giving the Black Panther his full attention. It is time for them to battle as gods, on the earth, in the sky, and the heavens above. In Doom's castle, Sue and Valeria confront the two Reed Richards. Sue only recognizes them through an image of when Reed and his people murdered Doctor Strange. Reed is devastated to hear that she really just knows him through this, and explains this was all Doom's work. Victor is a killer and a fraud, and Reed is here to fix things. As the Panther God clashes with the God of Doom, Reed enters the Molecule Man's realm with the Maker. As the two versions of Reed Richards look on at the source of Doom's power, Reed asks how Owen Reese is doing. The man is still starving, but Reed Richards' ultimate counterpart doesn't care. Using a device he cobbled together, he regresses Reed into the form of an ape. He would be sorry for this betrayal, but he just saw how he almost cried at the sight of Sue Storm, and who would want a weeping god? Owen says he would, and that he's hungry for some pizza. In an instant, the Maker is sliced into pieces and devoured alive. Owen returns Reed to normal and says that Richards needs to pull himself together. He's going to be here soon. Outside, Doom has finally managed to overpower T'Challa. He beats the man down, and Victor declares himself the superior being. But something is wrong. The Black Panther is smiling. All of this chaos was indeed orchestrated, but even T'Challa was a distraction. Doom teleports back to his castle, where he is confronted by Sue. When she asks about Stephen Strange, Doom only says he is sorry, and that he tried. Inside Owen's home, Doom confronts his rival, truly outraged at this madness. He had to meddle, didn't he? They saved millions, while Reed only saved himself, and it's time to die. Doom realizes something is wrong, and Owen says that Doom didn't bring him any food, just like Reed. That makes the two of them equal, doesn't it? So the two men begin a savage fight to the death. Victor is exasperated at all of this. He asks if Reed thinks any of this was easy. He was given impossible choices and did the best he could given these options. But Reed knows better. Victor erased his entire life just to indulge the man's own whims. He stole Reed's family. He closed his hands around everything left in reality and called it his own, and he held it too tight. Victor is astonished at these words and accuses Reed of genuinely believing that he could have done better with all of this power. Reed affirms that he could have, he would have, and they both know it. Doom admits this is true, and Owen says, well, if they both agree. T'Challa activates the Infinity Gauntlet, and everything goes white. He wakes up, home. Astonished that it worked, he looks on as his people are mapping another solar system. He congratulates the men. The West has abandoned their space program, but where they flounder, Wakanda excels. They dare to dream bigger, and their prize is the stars themselves. Owen Reese. The man was so grateful for that burger. Owen said he would repay that boy. Peter Parker greets his companion. He asks if Miles ate a snack and did his homework, and Morales confirms that he has. So Peter says it's time to beat up some bad guys. They swing out into New York City. At the edge of all that is, the Future Foundation is gathered. Owen Reese has a new guide for all his power. With Reed's instructions and Franklin Richards' formidable abilities, they have rebuilt the multiverse, one universe at a time. Each universe is tethered by a version of Molecule Man, and by splitting himself apart, Owen becomes better and more whole. He's healed. But that's just the start of everything. These realms of reality will need to be cataloged and explored. The Future Foundation is ready and willing to do this, together. Sue finds her husband and tells him that this really is something. Franklin asks if they aren't superheroes anymore, and Reed says that for now, they're a family of scientists and explorers. For now, that is good enough. As their son leaves, the couple talks about Ben and Johnny, and how they will miss them, but their story isn't over. Those two have more to do back home. Sue looks on at all of reality around them, and says that as superheroes, it was a pretty amazing final act to save all that is. Reed says that he learned the difference between living and dying is managing fear, not being so afraid of losing the things you love that you hold them too tight. He used to believe in entropy, that all things must die, but he changed his mind. He's letting go. Because now he believes in expansion. He believes in endurance. You, me, everyone on this planet, our sun, our galaxy, and the universe itself. This is simply how things are. Everything lives. It all started with two men. One was death, and one was life. Hello and welcome to Comic Island. My name is Arden, and this is my recap and review of Secret Wars number 9. Holy cow! After years, literal actual years of build-up, we finally have gotten to the very end of Secret Wars. It's been a long, strange, and completely insane journey, but at long last, we finally have an ending. This issue was awesome. I'll talk more about the event as a whole when we get to the complete story, but I really like this issue. From the cool artwork to the excellent and rather epic end of Battleworld, this is a phenomenal story I thoroughly enjoyed. I liked how the writing tied into the very beginnings of Time Runs Out, and on the whole, this was a pretty amazing conclusion to the story. I did notice the last page of this story kind of lost its impact because we already knew what was going to happen to Victor, what with him traipsing around the Iron Man comics for the past few months, but still it was fun and big. And I really don't think I've ever seen a comic quite as large in scale as this one. After all of this, I can't help but get behind the characters too. It's simply good writing when I can feel T'Challa's relief when he finally gets home, or Miles' happiness when he's united with Peter Parker in the new world, or Reed Richards' rage at Doom over all of this. I even feel bad for Doom when he has to answer for Sue over all he's done and he can't even look at her. And yeah, I was pretty happy for the guy when his face was fully restored. After all this, it felt earned for the man, even after all the bad things he's done, because, he tried. He did what no one else could and saved the remnants of reality. It's something, and marked a real turning point in his story. Yes, there are little annoyances, like the Maker and Namor being ushered so fast out of this story that it barely registered with me, but I don't know, it was awesome. Why nitpick something I enjoyed? Oh, and then there's that other thing. That thing that's probably going to upset some fans. Reed Richards, Sue Storm, and all the Future Foundation characters have been effectively written out of the story with the exception of the Thing and the Human Torch. And honestly, I'm kind of okay with that. Yes, I know, Marvel is making the universe closer and closer to the movie universe, and it's all very convenient for them. But you know who was the biggest, baddest character in all of Marvel for 2015? Indisputably Dr. Doom. A character they own no movie rights over, but they made him a front and central figure in not only the Secret Wars, but this new universe, and I've been really enjoying and looking forward to seeing more of him. So it can't all just be about movie rights. And you know what? It feels like Reed and Sue are simply heading in a new direction as characters. Marvel has been trying for years to sell Fantastic Four as a comic, and every time they've pretty much failed. Oh sure, they'll have some successful runs in recent memory, but you know what? Sales end up flagging, the comic gets rebooted or given a new creative team, and the cycle has repeated over and over again. It's time for us to challenge ourselves. It's time to move us slightly out of this box. And it's time for things to finally move in a new direction. You know, I started out today not reading the new Secret Wars comic, although I did get around to that pretty quickly, but rather reading an interesting article by Yahtzee Croshaw, challenging everybody to kind of get out of their comfort zone. Movies are particularly guilty of this, telling the same old story with Star Wars and all sorts of things like that. But, you know, Marvel's the one who's been challenging us. It's a new day in Marvel Comics, and I can't say I'm all that against it. I want to see the Thing as part of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I want to see whatever they're doing with the Human Torch. I'm willing to accept change. I'm willing to try something new. So yes, it's all far from perfect. Few things are, but it's a great ending to a surprisingly good story overall, and yes, I would recommend it. In spite of all the delays and problems, it was fun. I'm allowed to have fun, and I hope you guys did too. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep reading comics.